So we're on. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, the 19th of May. It's the afternoon, and we're going to look at a little bit of health news today. Herbal medicines banned as EU directive comes into force. This is taken from the Daily Mail, but it could be any one of a number of papers. Think about a quote first from Aldous Huxley. We have made such advances in medical science that practically no one is healthy anymore. I think he knew what was coming, and this is just another step in the direction of government coming in, and it's not even government, it's some abstract authority coming in and telling everybody what they can and can't do in their own lives. Outrageous anyway. Patients have lost access to hundreds of herbal medicines today. Today, this is dated 30th of April, after European regulations came into force. Now, they've been planning this for a while. This is one of the ways that they introduce these pieces of legislation or these directives. I'm not even sure that the European Union can actually make laws. I don't think they can. So this is even more crazy. Sales of all herbal remedies, except for a small number of popular products for mild illnesses, have been banned. That's it. Everything, almost everything natural that exists in your environment that can help you has been banned, made illegal. That means if you get involved with it and you don't have permission or the right papers, or somebody just doesn't really like you, then you can be in deep trouble, which is shocking. Anyway, for the first time, traditional products must be licensed. Think about this. Traditional products must be licensed or prescribed by registered herbal practitioners. Both herbal remedy practitioners and manufacturers fear they could be forced out of business as a result. Well, that's the aim, isn't it? To get all herbs that actually could help people basically off the market. Some of the most commonly used products were saved after Health Secretary Andrew Lansley, is he British or European, God knows, approved a plan for the Health Professions Council to establish a register of practitioners supplying unlicensed herbal medicines. This is the spin. This is the spin. It's okay as long as you get a license. It's okay. Don't worry. You can get a license. However, many remedies were lost as it was only open to those who could afford the licensing process. If you want to tell someone what's natural and what's good, you have to pay between £80,000 and £120,000. At least 50 herbs will no longer be stocked in health food shops, even though they are actually regularly bought. These shops are making a profit with them and they're good for the customers, says the British Herbal Medicine Association. I just ad-libbed a little bit at the end there. The UK Drug Safety Watchdog, the Medicines and Healthcare Products Agency, has issued more than a dozen alerts in the last 2 years, including a warning last month over a contaminated weight loss pill called Herbal Floss, due to concerns, floss as in F-L-O-S, due to concerns over possible side effects. Concerns, not proven, possible side effects, and it's a warning. So because they've had to issue one warning about one drug, they've decided to ban all drugs. This is because there's one little problem. You have to react by banning everything and making the world safer for everybody in the process, of course. Criminals, criminals, criminals. Prince Charles, a long-standing supporter of complementary therapies, long-standing supporter, has voiced his support for formal regulation. If you support it, then you would be against regulation. It's a contradiction. Nice try. Doesn't work. Recent studies show that at least 6 million Britons have used a herbal medicine in the last 2 years. So what's that, 3 million a year? What's that? What kind of percentage is that of the population? How many people live in Britain? 60 million? So 5%? 5% of the population? It's quite a lot if you consider it. And are they all crazy? Are they all stupid? Well, they're now all criminals because they'll be doing an illegal activity, basically. Professor George Lewis, professor of health research at Southampton University, said, "Evidence for the efficacy of herbal medicines is growing. They may offer cheap, safe, and effective approaches for common complaints." So the evidence is growing that these medicines that have been used for thousands of years are actually good, as if we need evidence to prove that what is good, because people vote with their feet by making choices about what they want to do, as if we need evidence to prove it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to go through a few comments that were at the bottom of the article. They show that people at least are still awake, even though they don't seem to be able to do anything. Again, I recommend positive non-compliance. Just ignore the idiocy of these rules and laws. This is Alan Thornton from the Highlands of Scotland, says, "This is nuts. We are at an all-time high for education. We are at an all-time high for easy access of information." And kind of debate about an all-time high for education. Access to education, yes, but actually good education is questionable. We are at an all-time high for accuracy of information. We're at an all-time high in terms of being able to make decisions for ourselves, and we are at an all-time low in being allowed to make those decisions. Oh, look at all these wonderful advances. No, you can't use them. Sorry. It's true, we're at an all-time low in confidence in the medical profession, and we are at an all-time low of confidence in the pharmaceutical industry. Remember, the number one killer after governments is, in fact, doctors and prescribed medicine. Not that I'm against prescribed medicine, and not that I'm against doctors. They do a lot of good work, but every situation is different, and you have to judge it on those differences that are there in the situation. You can't blanket everybody with one system. You can't paint everybody with the same brush. Think about the lobbying involved in this. Wonder who paid for it. Wonder who pushed it through. I mean, can any of these people actually really say that they're doing a benefit to society at all in any way by making our access to medicines more complex? I mean, isn't life difficult enough? Do you really need to go and make it more difficult? Maybe you do. Maybe you feel you're doing something right. Stop and think before you do that. Another quote here, Rick from Swindon says, "Another aspect of our lives is now firmly controlled by unelected gangsters. What a joy that we don't have to think or make decisions for ourselves anymore because they're all being made for us. Lovely. Let's just keep on watching our game shows, soap operas, and sport on the TV, drinking our cheap beer, getting more expensive, I would add, and continue turning a blind eye to the invisible prison bars that are quietly, carefully, and diligently being slotted into place all around us." Wise man, Rick. Slotted into place around us for our own good, of course. Let's blame someone. Who are we going to blame? Might as well look in the mirror. Moving on, and this is all part of Codex Alimentarius. You can Google the term and have a look at it. They've been planning this for a while. As I said, it's part of the way that the propaganda is promoted and developed through the media. They tell you what they're going to do very slowly, so you feel that you can't react, you can't stop it, you can't do anything positive to prevent it. You can. each little thing that was changed on the planet was changed by one person. Each idea, each thing that was created by one person with one single idea, and they went out and followed their idea, and they worked with other people to the best of their ability, and they made a success out of these things. Moving on, I'm going to look at another quick article here. Herbs Are Not Drugs by Heidi Stevenson. Governments and media around the world have been claiming that herbs are drugs. Okay, herbs are drugs. You've got to think about this. There are two kinds of medicine. There's homeopathic and allopathic. Homeopathic, the natural medicine from the environment that works in harmony with the body. Allopathic, that's the pharmaceutical industry's creation using some natural elements and some man-made elements, and they do this so that they can patent the drug, and they can use it as their drug and no one else can copy it, because at the moment you can't really patent a natural substance because it's out there, it's in nature, it's natural, you can't patent it. So herbs are not drugs, they are in fact a natural medicine. This idea that herbs are drugs, this claim stems from the fact that a substance with any medicinal effect on the human body is a drug. Now let's look at that from the opposite direction. What if we ask, what doesn't have a medicinal effect on the human body? I mean, think about it. There's no end to the things that have effects on the human body. And obviously pharmaceutical drugs do have an effect. So do medicinal herbs as well, but everything has an effect. Vitamins have an effect. Food, broccoli, carrots, blueberries, all boost the immune system, and even chicken soup can help you with the common cold. And water. What about water? When are they going to ban water? Because it's a natural substance available in the environment. Are they going to limit and ration the water to the people? I mean, this is you see the road that we're going down here. Can you see the road? It's not the way that anybody wants to go. It's really not. Anybody who's still consciously thinking and alive and alert. You know, medicinal effect on the body. A drug. Oxygen could be a drug. And my God, they're trying to tax people. They're trying to tax the elements in the periodic table at the moment, which is another criminal activity. What separates drugs from herbs? Moving on with the article, pharmaceutical drugs are artificial constructs. I just mentioned that. And pharmaceutical drugs are new in the world. There's no history of their use. And if you consider the amount of drugs that are out there, the hundreds, thousands of drugs that are in our food, that we will be taking for any other illnesses or ailments or problems, and preservatives, flavorings, and all of these. Think about the effect that all these different drugs would have if they're used together. I mean, is that tested? Is that controlled? Are we just going to wait and see if there's a bad effect if we use this drug and this drug together at the same time? I mean, this is outrageous. And they're banning things that they haven't even really tested that have been used for hundreds of thousands of years, and they're still good. I mean, look at the work of the great doctors of history. By doctors of history, I mean those who worked with medicine, those people who understood the benefits of homeopathic, working in balance with the body. Look at the work of Hermes. I mean, if you're a doctor and you haven't studied the work of Hermes, go and have a look at it, and you'll see. Or if you're a nurse, or you work with old people or young people and you're concerned with health, and anyway, don't look at Hermes. Look at Hippocrates. Doctors still take the Hippocratic oath. That's the oath that they will use the powers that they get through their work to actually do some good to society, and they won't abuse it in any way. And there was a third one. It was come out of the Middle East. I think it was Abyssinia. I don't have too much information on that, but you can go and do a search on that as well. The whole history of medicine and herbs and using natural remedies to try to help problems that exist within society. I'm going to post up links to these articles because that's about all we've got time for today. Thanks very much.